Hello, I'm your storyteller. I'd love to know where you're watching my videos from. You can tell me in the comments below. When you are ready, lean back, and let's dive into this week's horror stories. This happened last October, a few nights before Halloween. I stream on Twitch sometimes. I'm not super big or anything, maybe 40 or 50 regulars when I'm consistent. I usually play horror games, even though I kind of hate them. People like seeing me freak out, so I lean into it. Dim lights, camera on, heartbeat monitor, the whole setup. The weekend of the incident, I decided to do an all-night horror game marathon to try and grow my channel a bit. No breaks except bathroom runs. I started around 8 p.m. and the first game went fine. Pretty standard jump scares, lots of chat interaction, more viewers than usual. Everything was going great. Around 10:30, I switched to this creepy, slow-burn, psychological horror game. No action really, just weird atmosphere and tension. I turned off all the lights in my room except for my monitor and a little LED strip behind my desk. My webcam was set up straight ahead, so viewers could see me, part of my chair, the wall behind me, and a bit of the hallway. About 45 minutes in, chat suddenly blew up. Not with subs or alerts, just messages. Stuff like, "Bro, there's someone behind you. Check your monitor. Dude, what was that?" At first I thought they were just messing with me. It was a horror stream after all. I played along, turned around all dramatic, and did the whole, "Ooh, spooky ghost" bit. Chat was laughing, so I figured it was just a good moment. Then I got a DM from a regular viewer. This guy, Max, who's been watching me for a while. Super chill, never trolls. He sent me a screenshot from the stream with a message that just said, "Not joking. Look at your monitor reflection." So I pulled it up. It was a frame from about a minute earlier. At first, I didn't notice anything, just me sitting at my desk. But then I looked at the glossy edge of my monitor, just barely in the reflection behind my chair. There was a figure. It was faint, but definitely there. A silhouette. Standing behind me just out of view of the webcam. My stomach dropped. I muted my mic, stood up slowly, and turned around. The room was empty. Door was closed, hallway dark. I checked under the bed and in the closet. There was no one there. I sat back down and tried to laugh it off to my viewers, but I was still shaken. Then, maybe 30 seconds later, my front door creaked open. It wasn't loud, but I heard it. So did the mic. Just this long, slow creak. That door was supposed to be locked. I always lock it before I start streaming. I ripped off the headset and called out, "Hello?" No response. I grabbed this little knife I keep in my desk drawer and stepped out of my room. The stream kept going. I wasn't gone more than a minute. When I came back, chat was freaking out. A bunch of people said they saw someone walk past the doorway behind me while I was gone. No one could agree on what exactly. Some said a shoulder, others said a leg. Whatever it was fast. I ended the stream, called a friend to come over, and stayed up checking every window and door twice. I didn't sleep at all. The next morning I checked the VOD, and indeed someone was seen moving behind me as I went out the hallway. Twitch ended up removing the VOD a few days later, said it violated community safety policies, but didn't give any real explanation. I still have the screenshot Max sent me though. I haven't streamed horror games since. And now I double-check the front door every time before I go live. I've been gaming for a long time, mostly late at night after work. It's how I wind down. I don't play competitively or anything, mostly casual Call of Duty matches with friends or solo when no one's on. I don't use my real name, don't talk much in lobbies. and I've had the same generic gamer tag for years. I like to stay pretty low-key. It was a Thursday, just after midnight. I was on Modern Warfare 2 playing Team Deathmatch. I had my headset on, volume kind of low, and I was just zoning out while the next game loaded. There were maybe 5 or 6 random players in the lobby, but no one was talking. Just the usual static and some background noise. Then someone's mic came to life. All they said was, "Alex." That's my name. But like I said, I never use it online. I just sat there for a second, staring at the screen. I figured maybe someone was talking to a friend named Alex, or I misheard it. But then it came again. "Alex, turn around." That time I ripped the headset off and spun around in my chair. I was expecting something. I don't even know what. But there was nothing there. Just my room, the lamp in the corner, the laundry on the floor, and my monitor glowing in the dark. Everything looked normal. I put the headset back on. Silence. A few seconds later, the match started. I played the whole game with my mic muted and no sound. I convinced myself it was just a coincidence and that he was speaking to a friend. But it didn't feel like that. It felt personal, like someone who actually knew me. The next few days were normal. I avoided solo lobbies, only played with friends, and kept everything muted. I even told one of my buddies about the voice, kind of half joking like it was just a creepy moment. He laughed and said maybe someone was doxing me, but we didn't take it seriously. Then about a week later, it got worse. It was a Saturday morning. I went outside to grab coffee and noticed something sitting on my doormat. Just a small black USB drive. No note, no envelope. Just the drive, sitting right in the middle of the mat. I took it inside and plugged it into an old laptop I don't use anymore. I didn't want to plug it in my main computer just in case it had some virus on it. There was only one file on it. No name or details. It was a video with a timestamp from the exact night I heard the voice in the game. I opened it. It was a video of me sitting at my desk playing Call of Duty. It was recorded from my webcam, the one built into my monitor. I freaked out. How could someone have access to my webcam? At the end of the recording, another clip came up. It was a dark picture with the text, "I'm coming for you." I unplugged the webcam, ran virus scans on every device I owned. Nothing came up. It was like the footage had come from nowhere, and whoever made it, they'd been in my system without leaving a trace. I kept thinking about the voice in the game. They were watching me when they said it. I didn't call the police, what would I even say? That someone sent me a creepy video and whispered at me through a game? They would just tell me there was no real threat, no crime, just paranoia. I even started to doubt myself, wondering if maybe I'd left my webcam on, or if this was all just some messed up prank. For a while, nothing else happened. A few weeks passed. I stopped gaming altogether. I changed my passwords, even swapped out my router. Life felt normal again, or close enough. I started to think maybe it was over. Then about a month later, I got home from work, unlocked my door, and saw it. On my computer chair, a black gaming headset. It wasn't mine. My own headset was still hanging on the wall where I'd left it. There was no signs of forced entry. Nothing was missing. But someone had been inside, and they'd left it behind. I checked every corner of the apartment, every closet, under every bed. Nothing. I never plugged the headset in. I just put it in a box and left it on the porch while I was deciding what to do with it. The next night, my phone lit up while I was in bed. No caller ID, just one text message. "Wrong headset. Use the one I gave you." I moved the next week. New place, new number, and a new PC. At least for now, it seems to have stopped. But I'm still too paranoid to play online games. I've always been into horror games, but VR took it to a whole different level for me. The way it messes with your senses is insane. You can't just look away or pause the game when something gets in your face, you're in it. Fully surrounded. That's kind of what I liked about it. Until this happened. It was last fall, on a random Wednesday night. I live alone in a small apartment, with just one bedroom and a tight little office area where I usually game. I'd seen people online talking about this creepy VR demo that was starting to get some buzz. It didn't have a name or anything official, just a Reddit post, a download link, and a few comments saying it was the scariest thing they'd ever played. That was enough for me. I downloaded it and threw on my headset. The game started right away. No title screen, no settings, nothing. Just a pitch-black hallway with flickering lights. The sound design was actually amazing. Buzzing light bulbs, faint wind sounds, your footsteps echoing in the distance. It was eerie, but in a cool way. There was nothing else to do except walk forward, so that's what I did. About 5 minutes in, I started hearing footsteps behind me. Slow, kind of dragging. Definitely not part of my own movement in the game. I figured it was just part of the experience, like something was following me but never showing up. Classic horror stuff. But the sound kept going even when I stopped moving. That's when it started to feel off. I turned around in the game. Nothing there. Just the same dark hallway stretching behind me. I stood still, and the footsteps kept going. Slow and steady, like someone pacing just a few feet back. The weirdest part? The longer it went on, the lesser it sounded like it came from the game. It sounded like it was in the room with me, like right behind me, outside the headset. Then I felt it. Not a touch, but this sudden movement of air along the side of my neck, like someone had leaned in close and exhaled. I didn't have a fan on. The windows were closed. Heater was off. I pulled the headset off right away. All the lights in my room were off. It was pitch black. I stood there frozen for a few seconds, staring into the dark void. I never turn off all lights when playing. It was completely quiet. Creeped out, I walked over and turned the lights on again. I must have hit the light switch somehow, I said to myself, though I was a bit skeptical. Figuring I've had enough, I deleted the demo and went outside to get some air. When I came back in, I decided to go to bed. But when I got to my bedroom, I noticed something strange. On my nightstand sat my VR headset, right where I always leave it when I'm done playing. But this time, the lenses were fogged up, like someone had just been wearing it. I'm the only one with a key. The apartment was locked, and yet, the headset was warm, like it had just been used. I was outside for 10 to 15 minutes, and it usually cools down during that time. I reached out to grab it, and my phone buzzed on the charger. A single message popped up on the screen. "You forgot to finish." I stared at it for what felt like hours. I tried to call the number, but it said it was out of service. The next morning, I went back to find the Reddit thread, but it was gone. Completely wiped. No comments, no link. It was like it never existed. I now stick to official games only, and I suggest you do the same. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing, as it shows the YouTube algorithm that you enjoy my content. I'll see you next week for another horror story video.